Imagine a world where NATO goes toe-to-toe with Russia, but without America's involvement. Now that's a question that sends shivers down the spine of even the most hardened military enthusiasts. Yet it's a question worth pondering. It's a scenario that brings into sharp focus the balance of power and the military capabilities of NATO and Russia, two of the world's leading military powerhouses. It's a thought experiment that forces us to take a hard look at the state of our world, the geopolitics at play, and the potential outcomes of such a conflict. This isn't about fear-mongering or stoking the fires of war. No, this is about understanding, about preparedness, about knowing what could be at stake. So let's dive into the military might of these two powerhouses and see how they stack up. First, consider NATO's military capabilities without the US. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NATO, is a military alliance that includes several of the world's most powerful countries. Even without the United States, NATO boasts a formidable military force, with key members like the United Kingdom, France, and Germany contributing significantly to its overall strength. Let's start with manpower. NATO's European members alone can summon millions of soldiers. These troops are well-trained, well-equipped, and ready to defend their nations against any potential threats. Each member country contributes to the collective defense in different ways, but all are committed to protecting the alliance. Next, consider NATO's artillery. The organization possesses a vast array of weaponry, from tanks and armored vehicles to artillery guns and missile systems. The United Kingdom, France, and Germany, as key NATO members, have some of the most advanced military technology in the world. Their contributions significantly bolster NATO's artillery capabilities. In terms of air power, NATO's European members maintain a formidable fleet of fighter jets and bombers. The UK's Royal Air Force, France's Armée de l'air et de l'espace, and Germany's Luftwaffe are among the most respected air forces globally. They provide NATO with the ability to project power from the skies, an essential component of modern warfare. Finally, let's not forget about the submarines. NATO's European members operate a substantial number of submarines, providing the alliance with a crucial undersea deterrent. These submarines are capable of launching torpedoes and missiles, making them a potent threat to any adversary. In conclusion, even without the United States, NATO is a force to be reckoned with. The combined military power of its European members, their manpower, artillery, air force, and submarines, make the alliance a formidable opponent on the global stage. NATO, even without America, is a formidable force. But how does it compare to Russia? Turning our attention to the east, let's look at Russia's military prowess. This vast nation is considered one of the world's top military powers, not just by sheer numbers, but by the sophistication and might of its forces. Starting with manpower, Russia boasts a substantial active-duty military, with millions of personnel at its disposal. But it's not just about numbers. The Russian military is known for its rigorous training, creating soldiers who are not only physically fit, but also tactically adept. Now let's discuss artillery. Russian artillery is some of the most powerful in the world. They have an impressive array of guns, mortars, and rocket launchers. Their artillery units are capable of striking targets at considerable distances, causing immense damage. These units are not just about brute force, but also about precision, a result of years of technological advancements and strategic innovations. Moving on to the Air Force, it's a force to be reckoned with. Russia's air power includes a vast fleet of fighter jets, bombers, and helicopters. They've continually updated their fleet with state-of-the-art aircraft, including the Sukhoi Su-57, a fifth-generation fighter that rivals anything in the West. And let's not forget about their submarines. Russia's submarine fleet is one of the most formidable in the world. These underwater behemoths are capable of lurking undetected in the world's oceans, ready to launch a devastating strike at a moment's notice. Their stealth technology and advanced missile systems make them a significant threat. But it's not just about the size of Russia's military, it's about the innovations they've made in military technology. From hypersonic missiles to advanced electronic warfare capabilities, Russia continually pushes the boundaries of what's possible on the battlefield. Russia, a single country, holds significant military power, but how would a conflict play out? Now, imagine a war scenario between NATO and Russia without US involvement. The conflict would likely begin with a series of diplomatic escalations, perhaps over territorial disputes or political provocations. The initial stages of this hypothetical war might resemble a high-stakes game of chess, with each side strategizing, mobilizing troops, and forging alliances. Geography would play a pivotal role in determining the course of the conflict. NATO, with its member nations scattered across Europe and the North Atlantic, would have to operate over vast distances. In contrast, Russia, with its vast territory and harsh climate, could use these to its advantage, complicating NATO's offensive plans. For NATO, the challenge would be to coordinate its diverse forces effectively, leveraging the unique strengths of each member nation. On the other hand, Russia, with its centralized command and control, could potentially respond more swiftly and decisively. In terms of damage, Russia's military prowess could inflict significant harm on NATO countries. Russian artillery, known for its range and firepower, could devastate key infrastructures. Their air force, equipped with advanced fighter jets, could potentially dominate the skies. And let's not forget Russia's fleet of submarines, capable of launching surprise attacks from the depths of the sea. However, NATO is no pushover. It possesses a formidable collective military strength, with many of its member nations boasting advanced militaries. The alliance's combined manpower, technology, and resources could potentially stand up to Russia's aggression. But a conventional war of this magnitude would inevitably lead to massive casualties, widespread destruction, and profound geopolitical repercussions. It's a grim picture, to say the least, and one that underscores the critical importance of diplomacy and conflict prevention. War is multifaceted and unpredictable, but one factor remains crucial: missile defense. In a modern war, missile defense systems play a critical role. They are the shield against the sword of offensive missile strikes. In the case of NATO and Russia, both sides have developed sophisticated systems to both launch and intercept these deadly projectiles. NATO's missile defense is a multi-layered system, incorporating land, sea, and air-based components. Key among these is the Aegis Ballistic Missile Defense System, a sea-based platform capable of tracking and intercepting incoming missiles. This system, along with the Patriot PAC-3 and the Terminal High Altitude Area Defense, or THAAD, provide NATO with a robust shield against ballistic missile attacks. But what about Russia's missile capabilities? Russia boasts an extensive arsenal of ballistic and cruise missiles, from the Iskander tactical missile system to the fearsome RS-28 Sarmat, also known as Satan II. This intercontinental ballistic missile is said to be capable of evading even the most advanced missile defense systems. However, it's important to remember that missile defense isn't just about the technology, it's also about strategy and deployment. NATO's missile defense is dispersed across multiple member countries, providing a broad protective umbrella. This dispersed approach could potentially complicate Russia's offensive strategy, forcing it to spread its resources thin to strike at multiple targets. On the other hand, Russia's missiles are concentrated within its vast territory. This concentration could potentially allow for a more focused and powerful strike, but it also means that a successful NATO counterstrike could have devastating effects. So how effective would NATO's missile defense be against Russia's missile capabilities? It's a complex question with no easy answers. Both sides have their strengths and weaknesses, and the outcome would likely depend on a multitude of factors, including timing, strategy, and a bit of luck. Missile defense could tip the balance in a war, but ultimately, who would come out on top? In this hypothetical war, determining a winner isn't straightforward. The outcome of a conflict between NATO and Russia, minus the backing of the United States, would hinge on a multitude of factors. Military capabilities, readiness, and strategies on both sides would all play a crucial part in shaping the final result. Let's start by evaluating the collective military strength of NATO countries. Despite the absence of the United States, NATO would still possess a formidable force. With countries like the United Kingdom, France, and Germany, NATO's combined military capabilities are nothing to scoff at. Their armed forces are well-trained, technologically advanced, and have the advantage of numbers. However, without America's support, they would face significant challenges in terms of logistics, intelligence, and firepower. On the other hand, Russia's military power is considerable. Russia has a vast and experienced army, a formidable air force, and a navy that includes a fleet of submarines. They also possess advanced missile systems, capable of causing significant damage to NATO countries. Moreover, Russia's geographic advantage and the ability to wage a defensive war on home ground could tilt the scales in their favor. The preparedness and strategies of both sides would also significantly impact the outcome. NATO, with its diverse membership, might face challenges in coordinating a unified response. Russia, however, having a single command structure, could potentially respond more swiftly and decisively. Yet, it's important to remember that military might alone doesn't determine the outcome of wars. Economic strength, political will, public support, and even luck play significant roles. In this scenario, the determination of NATO countries to defend their sovereignty and the resilience of their societies under attack would also be significant factors. Predicting the outcome of war is complex, but one thing is certain: the cost of war is high. War, even hypothetical, comes with a significant cost. Let's take a moment to reflect on what a war between NATO and Russia might actually entail. Beyond the military strategies, the troop numbers, and the technological prowess, there lies a harsh reality. A reality of human suffering, economic turmoil, and political upheaval. Imagine the human cost. Thousands, potentially millions of lives lost. Soldiers and civilians alike caught in the crossfire of a conflict they didn't choose. Families torn apart, homes destroyed, and communities shattered. The reverberations of such a tragedy would be felt for generations. Then, there's the economic cost. Wars are expensive, and not just in terms of military spending. Infrastructure would be decimated, trade would be disrupted, and economies would crumble under the strain. The world could potentially plunge into a financial crisis unlike anything we've seen before. And let's not forget the political cost. Diplomatic ties would be severed, alliances would be tested, and the global balance of power would be thrown into chaos. The world order we know today would be irrevocably changed. But it doesn't end there. The psychological cost, the environmental cost, the cultural cost, the list goes on. And these are costs that can't be measured in dollars or rubles, but in the very fabric of our societies. So, as we ponder this hypothetical war, let's not lose sight of the real stakes. It's not just about military might or strategic victories, it's about the world we want to leave behind for our children. That's why diplomacy and peacekeeping efforts are so crucial. They help prevent these hypothetical scenarios from becoming grim realities. They remind us that dialogue and understanding are our most powerful weapons. In the end, it's not about who would win, but what we all stand to lose. Who do you think would win a war between NATO and Russia? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe for more, and thanks for watching.